Hello, everybody. Sunday Adelaja here from Kyiv, Ukraine. I want to welcome all of you to a new time of fellowship that we're having here with our Hmt graduates and Hmt Hmt participants, and I'm sure they are still recovering. I hope they will never recover fully from the blessings and from the knowledge and the inspiration they got from here. And somebody wrote me today and was asking me about how the people could maintain whatever they got here already. I said, we have a video on that topic. I don't know if anybody has it. We have a video, how to cope with the Western, I think with the Western pressure or Western civilization when you get back home after HMT. There should be a video there about that. So in case you don't know, somebody might need to look for that video now so that we find a link that there is a teaching I did on how to cope after you get back home. I think it's connected with how to deal with the pressure or the Western pressure or something like that, but it's something we can refer back to so that it will help us to cope with all the challenges of the daily work, the daily Uncle Sam and vanity and frivolity that you will encounter with. So, but right now what we are going to do is to try to answer the questions of as many of those questions as will be here. We want to answer the questions of all the people that are here and also of those who are at home. So if you are at home here today and you would like to ask some of the questions that you wanted to ask yesterday that we couldn't really ask, thanks to the question on gratitude, you might want to call in or write your questions in the comment section. You can write your questions in the comment section and just let us hear about the questions you have. Or you could call in during our live broadcast. And the way to call in is to want to call in or write your question. The way to call in is to go to Facebook Messenger and look for Move Agents Matic, and just write to us that you like to call in. So you will always be able to do that and ask your questions. And for the people who had written their questions yesterday, I think you will need to write those questions again in the comment section so that we'll be able to answer and deal with the questions. So we have Dr. Anu here who will help us to coordinate the questions. Hello, sir.
Good evening, Pastor. Thank you. I would like to give the answer to the question or to the video you mentioned earlier.
You have it?
Yeah.
What is it called?
So the title is How to Beat the Western System of Slavery.
Oh, yeah.
And Do Not Become a Slave.
Uh-huh. How to beat
the Western system of slavery and do not become a slave. It's a 2 hours, 30 minutes video thereabout. 2 hour, 30 minutes video. So I'll repeat, how to beat the Western system of slavery and do not become a slave. So it's on YouTube, just search for it and you'll be able to find it.
I think there are two, are they the same? I see two of them here.
The one here is on the, it's with 06/11/15, 2 hours, 21 minutes. Exactly.
2 hours, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
I have one here with 2 hours, 21 minutes.
Wow, there's another one.
And then I have one with 1 hour, 57 minutes.
Yeah, there's another one with 2 hours, 39 minutes, which is how to go back home and beat the Western system of slavery.
That's 2 hours?
2 hours, 39 minutes.
So there are many of them, really.
Yeah.
So there are many times I've taught that lesson. Huh?
Yes.
I can't even see the one yet. How to go back home?
Yes. How to go back home and beat the Western system of slavery and do not become a slave.
Okay. That one is how to go back home. And these ones are how to beat.
The Western.
Yeah, there's two that I'm seeing here, how to beat. I don't have how to go back home. But at least it's the same thing. It's the same.
Yes.
It's the same lesson, the same idea. So, and anyone else that might have some other questions, and in regards to this HMT, please go ahead, and please make sure that all those things you found. You found 2 of them or 3?
I found 3 of them.
3 of them. Yeah. Can you make sure that they are in a playlist?
All right.
Put them in HMT playlist. You will see one of the ones to.
Which? No, they're different sessions.
Yes, we have to. Which one is closer today?
Classic.
It could be one. You can put one in classic. One, if there are 3, I'll put them in the 3 different ones so that people can find them easier. So which one ever is close? Those topics that are closer. So that's okay. I can put one in classic. One in church and history, HMT church.
Okay.
One is what and why is HMT. Yeah, why HMT, church and classic. That's where people should be able to find them.
All right. So I'll be reading the first question, which is connected to this video. Having understood.
Maybe before you even ask the question, read the questions, let me even ask the people who are still here. Are you people still alive? I think we should let those who went out today with Yuri to tell of their experience, because yesterday the question we had in regards to gratitude, I eventually became grateful to God that we did it because of the reaction. Somebody even told me that was the highlight for him of all this HMT, that gratitude. So I discovered that these little things that we might not have planned for, sometimes God uses them. So also there was another experience today that people had that was not planned for, and that experience was they just wanted to fellowship with one of our people here. Not just me, just with one of the Ukrainians. Just talk to them and just talk and ask questions. So they went out on their own, not even in the house, out of the territory of the house, so that in case the house is being bugged, the person will have the freedom to express himself and be able to talk freely. So let's find out what our, because I think it will even be a different, unique experience to somebody who is at home. I'm sure somebody would like to ask the question, okay, the teachings of Pastor Sunday are great, we know that already, but did you interact with any of the local people there? And I think that is the answer. Did you interact? What did you get from just interacting with his disciples or with the people he has raised up? What is it? What comes across? And I think that's a unique approach that we must also examine. So who would like to start with that? Yeah, please.
This is how I would like to start. I usually say, you know what, we either know Dr. Sunday or do not know him. But, let's just put up a screen as if he's not there.
Okay.
Because the first thing we're trying to see here is how much of an influence, like I said, the oil that runs from Aaron's head down to the beard, how much of this oil has actually sprayed on those around him, which to me gives a lot more information about the lifestyle of the man. So assuming DSA is only putting up a front here, from discussions, interactions with people that have lived here or that are around, that have that have been inspired by him, you're able to still find consistency in the message. And I think that's one of the most important, the most interesting thing for me. And in going out with Yuri today to town, we just took a taxi to Kyiv City, and we're just walking, just having a nice walk and just talking all through from the time we left the house till we got to the city, till we returned. It was just all talk about what Yuri's doing, how he's achieved what he's doing, how he has been able to, against all odds as well, converted his time, converted the situation, his pain to a position of passion, to a position of using that to bring succor to other people that are going through the same thing he went through in his past. And I think the gratitude session that we had yesterday, to me, kind of just put everything all in the frame. That was like the whole frame that put a boundary around the lessons that I have learned over this last couple of days and being here. The fact that we see that it's not just a thank you, right, that means that you're able to use to express gratitude. You're just being courteous, but that actually that you are influenced so much by what someone else has done for you, you're ready to sacrifice your own life to impact the life of others as well. So it isn't a case of just...
Shouldn't that be our response to Christ's sacrifice as well? Because he gave his own life.
You see, the thing is, until I have arrived here and come here, it didn't seem to settle that way. Because we've grown up in the church around the pulpit ministry, and I've made excuses for it as though, the church isn't doing what it needs to do, we need to do this as a church, we need to do that as a church. But I begin to recognize, look, it's not so much about the church alone. You cannot pass on that responsibility just to the church. You yourself, you're responsible, you're an individual. Jesus Christ said, he who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit is saying to the churches. So in as much as he's speaking to the churches, he's also speaking to the individuals. So I have a responsibility to carry out the mandate of Christ. And I know at different points in my life, like a year or two ago, when I was reading certain parts in the Bible that talks about, don't be like the Gentiles. Say hello to other people, right? When you do parties, don't invite people that would only invite you back as well, that reciprocate. But you go out to the street, so to say, and bring people that would not be able to say thank you. And that thing really hurt me. Because I looked around and I suppose I couldn't see a picture. And I think that was what was missing for me. I couldn't see any model of that, either when I was living in Nigeria or when I moved to Scotland, of that kind of system in place. And I think that was the major thing for me coming to Ukraine, because I'd heard a lot, I'd listened to a lot of your messages. I knew some of the things you were saying and all of that. But coming to actually now see, this seems like, how God wanted to speak to Abraham. He had to send him out of the land first so that do you have my attention now?
And then look at the stars.
Yes. So for me, it's that kind of thing like, now, son, have you got my attention now? Do I have your attention now? You've seen that this thing is possible. So I'm not only just hearing theory any longer, I'm actually seeing the practicality of these things. As part of discussion with Yuri, we were saying that we had a passion for the homeless and all. And he started questioning us as well. What do you mean? What are you trying to achieve? And we're thinking, because I've been here as well for a while, that question was like, you need to think deep about this question. Is not just
you can't just again.
Just say that. So I became immediately cautious, like, okay, yeah, well, because I think that I love them and this is what I want to show them. Yeah, but why are you doing it? I thought, is it just because you have a good heart you want to do it? Why is there any plan to it? Why are you doing it? Because if you don't know the why you're doing a thing, even though it might seem like a really good idea, your motive might actually not be right. And you might not be able to follow through with the stress and the challenges that it comes with. And in the point of the discussion, then he said, somebody else mentioned something about trust, that the homeless people don't trust us. So that's part of the barrier we're having. And he said something fantastic.
Wow.
He says, why do they need to trust you? And we're thinking, of course, I'm thinking, but
once you come to their level, the trust is established already. But if you don't come to their level, they would never trust you.
That's first one. There was another thing he mentioned again. He said, why do they need to trust you? And we're wondering, why is Yuri asking this question? And then he goes on to say, well, it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're saying you're going out because they're cold and you want to give them warm clothing, why do they need to trust you? Why don't you leave that, what you brought for them, just leave it out there where it'll be obvious, right? And go away, because that's all you need to do. That's the message. I'm thinking, wow, okay. So maybe the barriers that we say we're having.
Maybe it's membership you want to make.
Do you understand? That's instantly what I realized about the
membership.
question.
You have ulterior motive.
Yes.
So it's not about the man.
Exactly.
It's what you can gain.
Yeah. Bring him to church.
So it helped to.
But I distracted you with that question. You just tell us what your experience today.
Yes, that's part of the. It was a lot more
That's
on.
part of it, but you started. I would have liked you to paint a picture, because I'm not. You are telling us information now. For example, I would have said, what you already started well by telling us what informed you to want to go out.
Yes.
But you just thought about, okay, supposing Pastor Sunday was pretending.
Yes.
People here, but then I would say, so what informed you taking him out? Then how did you stand out? Were you talking in the car? Was it outside? Was it in the cafe? Was it? You are not. I need to say a picture.
Right.
Not,
okay.
You are not drawing me a picture.
Right. Okay. Yes. So, rewind. Rewind. We just thought it was good to be out of the house.
You don't
as well.
make me feel I was there with you.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. Let's go on the journey.
Yes, you're a fast, quick student. You're a good, quick thinking student.
So, I just thought the best thing would be to be out of the house, and also just while we're walking and looking around the town, it'll be a good time to be able to discuss and just to understand where he's come from, his journey, his challenges, and how I can also, what I can learn from him, so that it is then something I can reproduce with my own strategy as well, that the Lord will deliver. So in the taxi, we started the discussion, so what exactly do you want to know? He says, and like, well, just to share with us what your experience has been and how you have been able to influence the people that you've influenced. How did you come to do that? And it was about a 30-minute journey, right? Yeah, 30-minute journey, and he just started to tell us some of the things that the fact that he was orphaned, the fact that
without father
and mother, the fact that he didn't even want to study at all, never wanted to go to school, so just playing football and all of that, and really painting that picture of somebody who was really shouldn't have, in quote, achieved
anything.
What he has achieved.
No college education.
No college education, nothing. But in the course of the discussion, to then find out that he's only actually even started learning English in the last 4 months.
Yeah, 3 months. Yeah.
3 months, and expressing himself, as much as he can, and effectively.
But he speaks Italy very well.
Yes, he said so.
Italian, yeah.
But the most amazing thing about him is he's a painter himself.
Okay.
His picture painting, his illustrations helps to pass on the message clearer than communicating in words. You know, he's good at just painting the picture for you and you get the message. And that's why I said, for example, when he says, why do they need to trust you? All you need to do, drop what you need to drop there. You go away. They take what they need to take.
That is as if you are doing it as to the Lord.
That's the message. That's the message. You don't need to make them befriend you, if that's the point. But if it's for other reasons that you need them to befriend you, you need to befriend them, then that's a different thing. You use another tool. But if it's really just to reach out to them, then go ahead with that. So it was another time to reflect on what my plans were, what I need to do, how I need to carry it out, and be really crystal clear of my motive as well. Then I think one of the other things he talked about was the strategy being applied as well, because he says that, well, you might talk to 1,000 people and only 5% actually come. Are you ready to move on with that, regardless of the numbers that do not come ahead? That the 5% are the only ones that eventually turn around and become like, this is what, why are you doing what you're doing to me? Why are you showing me so much love? You know, or you in the point of
the hope has to be there.
Yes.
The perseverance, the patience, the persistence, the character,
Yes.
the stamina, the endurance, hope, power of hope.
Absolutely important. And he also mentioned about the fact that you're not going there to try and change 10 people instantly, but you start with one person.
Okay.
You start with one person, not because you want to give him food. Everybody, the government comes and gives them
some
food.
of the pastors, they are used to seeing immediately many people. If they don't see many people come immediately, they give up.
It's not encouraging.
They want to have big results immediately.
Yes.
Instant gratification.
Yes. Which then cuts the line between why are you doing what you're doing.
If you are doing to the Lord, it doesn't matter, Jesus.
You know, and I'd never really seen it that clearly. And it just helped to recheck the whole thing for me.
But you've been in church all your life, and he's just a new guy compared to you guys in the Lord.
I know. And
so what is the Christianity? It doesn't really mean that we have problems as bad as that with our Christianity at home.
Dr. Sunday, I think there's something very clear here, right? This isn't even about Nigeria. This isn't about the African church. I'm talking about, I don't know any other model of this anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, that's true.
At least on this scale.
Yes.
So for me, it's like the Lord is bringing some of us here to come and see a model, so that when I'm telling you, when I'm painting these pictures in your mind, that you're saying that it's impossible because you have not seen it around you. I understand. But when you come here to another land and you see how it's indeed working, the picture becomes clear. You realize, okay, what the Bible said is actually right. Because at the point you start to think maybe you are reading wrongly the Bible, what Jesus said.
Okay, because you are the only one saying it.
Because you're the only one saying it. You're not saying it around your community. It starts to make you think, how can everyone else be missing it this much? Because now forget about Africa. Okay, we look in Europe as well. We don't really find most of it. We look in America, we're not really finding that as such. Most of the churches that I know that do eventually, it is just to a large extent, church numbers.
Okay.
So all around that makes me then think, no, this isn't the thing. And there's a church, a lot of places that do it, not individuals. You see, when the church is the one responsible for doing it as an organization, it seems as though that is the results, that the motive, that has to be the result. That's how we measure the performance in a way.
They come to church.
By the time they are able to basically come to the church. Because if not, you kind of feel like it's not effective, it's not really causing any, changing any life. But is it really? Is it really not causing any change? Are you sure?
But we're only mentioning from our own understanding. What about from God's understanding? Just like I said, the lady in the afternoon, I had said, I was crying, I was weeping when I got home with the Natasha alcoholic. But I missed it. Because she had said alcoholic, and I was thinking really, like you said, that there was not going to be any reward from her. Because if all these alcoholics are the only people coming, how will I be able to pay the rent? How will I buy instruments?
Yeah.
How will I even survive? I would die because I didn't have faith that God could sustain me just by taking care of this down and out. So our own expectation is also built on greed.
In a way, it is.
Self-interest, egocentrism.
So in following your story, one of the other person I remember clearly is George Muller.
George Muller was like that.
Who did that?
Yes.
And he was never for the gain of the church or himself or anything. It was
But,
also from his pain he converted to.
But because he had lived so many years ago, many people don't seem to connect very well with that. It's just like a history. And when things happen in history, it's just like they are heroes, they are different, they are special.
Yes. Yes. So it's for anyone not attending the HMT or who despises the message, I really think you need to, number one, you owe yourself to know the truth. And if indeed you're reading your Bible, you eventually find out this is not about the church here. I'm not even talking about the church. I'm talking about you in particular as a person. You have a responsibility to fulfill the mandate of the kingdom if you say you're a Christian. And you cannot rest on the oars of the church doing it. You need to get out and start to do it.
So it means a lot of Christians actually kind of pretend, or maybe don't pretend, but they kind of find an excuse
Umbrella of church.
behind the church.
Umbrella of church.
Yeah, the excuse of church. The church is not doing. Let the church do it.
Yes.
I mean, I've spoken to a Caucasian congregation as well, you know, a pastor in Scotland. You know, he said, yeah, you know, we just try and do it, let the church do it. Because I was saying to him, I just watched that thing about pulpit ministry. And I was explaining to him, like, well, how about the pulpit ministry? Like, is this not? And they say, yeah, I know, you know, it should be the other way around, but we've just relaxed into this pulpit ministry and all. And so I realized it's actually, it's a large-scale issue. It's a large-scale issue. This isn't...
So we don't even see, it means even people are not seeing themselves as a church.
They don't make you see yourself as a church.
I don't think so.
So it's still a building thing.
The problem is, even if you see yourself as a church, when you're not seeing a model of anything happening, it's really difficult for you to not think that you are misunderstanding.
You are the one missing it.
That you're the one going crazy.
It's true. Because when everybody is going the other direction, you want to go, it's easy to just... it's easy to just say, I think you are the one that is...
So coming to HMT really and going around the different places, interacting with people and seeing what individuals have done, not the church.
Not the church.
It's the greatest message for me. That's been the greatest message for me. What individuals have gone ahead to do, not relying on anyone, not
of means. So
no, just from the invisible to the visible.
Ordinary people.
Ordinary. In fact, there's something else that Yuri said. He said sometimes when, you know, if there's a need and things, and he comes across somebody who may sponsor as well, you know, he may organize like maybe a tournament or something and
Yeah.
ask, you know, for a sponsor.
Yeah.
But he's also concerned. He's concerned for the people he's trying to help. But he's also concerned about the sponsor to make sure that he can give him be accountable, right, and give him a record of what the impact that his
Okay.
resources have made. And I was thinking, no, wait, that is crazy here. What you're not used to stands out in your mind if you're a person of truth. Because you see instantly, that's not what I'm used to. That's not what, how come he's concerned about this end, but at the same time, he's not losing sight of the other person. So he's just happy to be a channel for that to be passed through.
It's not about self-gain.
Not about self-gain. That's very, it was very encouraging for me. It was very encouraging. I'd just let the others speak.
You went out with them.
Yeah. Yeah, and to me, I become more challenged looking at your level of gratitude.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, you're saying that the 0 level is thank you. And the 1 level is gifts before actually service that goes in rank. And I kind of thought of what I'm used to. And anytime I go to church, I see that from my understanding, I feel that I'm going to be grateful to God, to worship God.
Because I go to church.
I go to church
That is
to
gratefulness.
worship God. I feel good.
We have belittled this God, though.
I feel good that yes, at least the worship was nice. I feel God. I had good message.
Thank you for telling me. Thank you for saying it. Because
yes.
everything is known. Please say it, because when you are saying it now, people are seeing themselves.
Yes.
It's not only you, everybody is like that. Oh.
Yes, I have good message. You know, the service.
So
was
that is
nice.
the gratitude to God.
Yes, I
am behaving well. I'm a good Christian.
Yes, I'm worshiping God.
That way.
Yes, I went to church today.
Are you serious?
Yes, and I come
So
back.
our own worship and gratitude to God is that I went to church.
And the higher level of that is that I become an usher and a prayer trainer. Yes,
Hey, I become a leader.
Yeah, I become a minister.
Usher.
Yeah, minister.
Or
I
the
become
choir.
a choir and all that. And you commit to doing that, and you do that, and that is good. You know, but from
So
your
that means I'm grateful to God.
yeah.
That
But I'm beginning to
by the
understand.
time you compare that to this,
Yes, I begin to find that is a 0 level. And the Bible
if you
says,
have really analyzed the thing.
yes, the Bible says, to whom much is given, much is expected. You know, and I'm always the person that always want to get more. I always get more, which means that I should also be able to give more.
I see. But
Okay.
it's not only you now.
Yes.
Is it not all of us who want to get more?
Yes. Coming to Dsa'S and
But we don't want to give more.
yeah, we don't know how to give more. We are not majoring. Our focus is not much on giving more, and that's why we are comfortable in church, because we do it as a group. It's not us, but it's the church, and that's why you see in the evangelism. I mean,
That means we are not really sacrificing.
it's the church that is doing it.
I
And
see.
when the church is doing it, it's for a reason. And that's why you see
What reason?
church membership, eventually. Or just to fulfill
Oh, but
righteousness.
we might not say it like that, though.
Yes. No. It's at the back of the mind, you know. Or just to fulfill righteousness.
That we are doing something.
We are doing something. You know. And I coming to Dsa'S, and hearing about the pedigree of Yuri, you know, and
or Lena,
yes,
or Pastor Nathan,
yes,
or any one of the people.
yes, and I become more challenged because if I had to expect to be getting more, then I should also expect to give more, and I become more interested in going after Yuri because, you know, knowing that he had never read a book, you know, and
at the
time, he don't have a father, no mother, no resources, and within a couple of years, he has 30,000 people under him. You know, I may not be able to bog you down, but
at least Yuri,
but I can get about it. Yeah, I can. Yes.
I like that.
I can.
Okay.
Yes. Because you are busy.
Think that Pastor Sunday is somewhere there, up there,
yes,
busy on top, too far from you.
I see that you are busy because even in the program, at least you need time between breaks, and it's just going to be unfair for any of us to want to interfere with you, you know, during this short time, you know. But we can bug Yuri. We can bug Yuri. You know, Yuri.
Shout out to Yuri.
Yes.
General.
Yes, he is the general. We're all searching for a better way.
But you know what Yuri told me last week before just this week when you came, I think you went to somewhere with him. I think you went to see Christina. Yeah. And she was so surprised at the way foreigners are responding. So he came to tell me, I said, Pastor, you mean these things we are doing here is not everywhere like that? He said, but I can do, everybody, all of us here are doing these things. Why are they surprised like that? So they also are getting help to know that what is obtainable here is not the same everywhere like that. For them, it's just okay. It's just normal. They don't even think of anything about it. So thank God that you people are talking to. Because you are helping our people to know that. So this is not what every church is like. Yeah, no. Because they have never been to any church also. They have the opposite reaction that everybody is like that.
So following Yuri out, you know, I began to figure in my mind, how do I step from the zero level where I am?
I see.
Zero level so where.
You started processing.
Yes. No, it makes sense to grow beyond the zero level of gratitude. You know, and if we have a general, it only makes sense also to ask him questions. Yeah. Yes. But the amazing thing about Yuri is that Yuri possibly disappoints you because he himself speaks in pictures.
Okay.
We speak in stories.
Narrative.
And amazingly, after you have given the story, he now asks you, now give me the picture. You know, so that becomes a challenge. You know, it makes you now want to think.
You see why it's easier for them to act? Because they have learned to see the picture. And when you see the picture, you want to bring it out. Yeah. But when you are just talking narratives and no picture, nothing, you are not even having any motivation to do anything. You are just talking. That's why you end up having big head. Everybody knows a lot of teachings, messages, but you don't do anything. Because they have not taught you to reason in pictures.
You know, so and that's why in the process, like our brother was speaking, it now make you understand that there must be reason why you're doing some things. You must have a reason, and that reason, what is it? Is it for a selfish reason to fulfill all righteousness, or you have a target? You know, you have to make all that clear, because that will determine your level of hope and your level of endurance, depending on whoever you are.
Very good.
You are, working with. you know, and yeah, so I'm caught up. So having a big picture, you know, is what is just necessary. Because if you don't have that picture, you might have the tendency of giving up, or not following to the end what you had actually planned to do. But the challenge is, for us in any of our endeavor, to make sure that we have the big picture. Like instantly, the big picture could have been, okay, I want to reach out to a society to bring them to Christ, and talking with him, Yuri, now make me understand that how do you want to do that? There has to be a means, there has to be a tool. So for instance, the homeless, okay, you might want to go and feed the homeless, but just understand that is a tool. That is just a tool, just a means. And it also make you understand that even at that, some people might want to take advantage of you, of your heart. So you have to be accountable.
Wow.
You have to know when to say no.
You have to really know what you are doing.
Yes. You have to know how to determine who that you are trying to reach, who is prepared to go to the next level. Because I began to mention some of the things that I have done and I'm doing, and he was big on, okay, what is the result? What is the result? What is the, what did they say? What is the product?
The end result.
The end result.
The product.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do you see result? So in that process, that makes you want to think that, yes, you might go out, like sometimes we go out, okay, let's feed the homeless. It might be an effort in futility because there is no result. You can't see the fruits. Okay, it's just as well, like you said, why don't you just leave the food on the table? If they want to eat, they will come and pick it up and go home. But if you are really, sure of result, you have to be smart. He mentioned that that you have to be smart because the people, some people are strategic. Yeah, because you should be able to know. Like some people will come just to take advantage of you, and when you are trying to push them, they don't want to. Then you should be at a point you know who doesn't want to go forward, and you can just let them go. And knowing how to let people go also helps you, saves you of extra luggage. Because what you are focusing on is the results that you are trying to get, to the glory of God. So the experience, not only the lecture or the things that you have taught us, but actually saying or trying to get into the mind of somebody who is actually, making impact is another level. It was another HMT for us, those of us that went out. And then Yuri is a very humble person. He just serves you like yes. Yeah, so that has to make me to understand that there is more, to whatever I think I do or what other I think I can do. There is more. The world is wide out there, and if Yuri could get such a result, then I have no excuse. Every other person have no excuse. So for those of you that is out there, you have to ask yourself, what really is your passion? What really do you want to achieve for God? Try to get and go and listen again the gratitude teachings that we did last night, and try to look at yourself. What level of gratitude are you giving to God? Are you at the 0 level, thank you level, worship level, praise God level, or you are actually going into your neighborhood. You are actually touching individuals. You are actually making a difference in your community. You are actually not, taking responsibility, not waiting of government. Yuri had no father and had no mother. Yuri had no bank account. Yuri had no money. Yuri said his own need is even more than the need of the people he's trying to reach.
Wow.
But he has learned how to look away from his needs. At least if I were Yuri, I would say, no, I want to go to school first, at least. Okay. I want to get a home first. And I want to get a wife and children. Yes. And Yuri said, okay, if you think that is your achievement, is it not to go get a wife, have sex and have children and just sleep? And is that what you want to do?
That's what a lot of people are doing.
Yeah. So we should, if only you can understand.
Exchanging life for vanity like that.
Yes. If only we can understand our level of gratitude, the level we are, the kind of gratitude we are giving to God, maybe we could take a step. To whom much is given, much is expected. And Jesus said, follow me. And following doesn't mean sit down. But one of the disservice of the church, is that, and because I see that, doing these things is resources. Okay? It requires resources. But the resources we have, we give to the church. Oh. And that's the excuses we have, that we are not able to, take the next step. So our gratitude, let the church do it. But it's also our responsibility. Yes, support the church if we can, but that doesn't replace what you have to do as an individual. So we need to have to understand that, yes, wherever we are, whether we belong to church or we don't belong to church, there is still a responsibility, our own responsibility, our passion. What pains you? What is it? I know what, if I start talking about, I start crying. That could be one or two things that God is trying to draw my attention to. And if I really want to be a solution, I don't have an excuse. Now, if anything becomes, tends to be an excuse, I remember Yuri. Yuri had no father. Yuri has no mother. Yuri has no education. He has no bank account. Yet he had 30,000 people and more under him. So I think it's all about our passion and the ability to be able to do real conversion for Christ than the thank you and the worship that we do. So that was another level of encounter apart from the teachings that we had here. Yeah.
You are from Nigeria. Do you still remember your language?
Yes, I speak my language.
You speak your language?
Yeah. I was home. I don't go home often, but I was home in May.
Your wife also speaks the same language?
Yeah, we are from the same village. So Peace is from Peace grew up in my village.
You understand the same language? From the same village?
Yeah, Peace grew up in my village. Yeah. Is she here?
Yeah.
Yeah, Peace grew up in my village.
Your village?
And my wife is her friend.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So you knew that when you were coming here?
I didn't know. I saw her here.
Are you serious? But how did you know?
I just saw her here. I didn't
recognize her.
She's the one that I didn't recognize her.
She recognized you?
She from my name. She saw my name or she heard my name and then it sounds like what she knows. And then when she came forth, a small world.
Because they used to be missionary families.
Yes.
They were missionary, their family, their father, they were from many villages, many places.
Yes.
Including your village.
Yes.
How do you say God bless you in your language? Or you don't know, it's in English you say?
We say God bless you, but that time in the day back.
So what about when you say good evening?
How do you say good evening?
Or welcome. Well, you don't have
Osidu.
Mm. But you can still talk the language.
Yeah, I speak my language. I speak. I went.
You know, today, this week is the Remembrance Week for Sarah.
For Sarah, yeah. Yeah.
Ogoni, that's the Ogoni leader.
Yeah.
And is that the Ogoni language, or you have many languages among the?
We have, we have Kana, Gokana, Eleme, Thai. Yeah.
Within Ogoni itself?
Yeah, within Ogoni itself.
Then how do you know that you are all Ogoni?
We know ourselves.
No, if you have different languages.
Yeah,
or they are connected.
We are connected. When
the language is it? When they understand one another.
When the Gokana man speak, okay, a Kana man can understand. A Thai man can understand, but an Eleme man might not understand.
Okay.
Some Gokana people can't understand Kana people, Kana language, and vice versa. It just depends on.
But you say all of them are Ogoni?
Yes, all of us are Ogoni.
What is the basic components that make you to decide that they are, for example, Yoruba, for example, you can say all of them are coming from Oduduwa. So that means everybody know that we are all children of Oduduwa. So it doesn't matter even if you have dialect, you don't have dialect. We are all children of Oduduwa. So in your own place, do you have a component like that?
No, we don't have a component.
But how then do you know that they are?
Geographical location. Okay. Geographical location and the language.
No, but the language, you just told me the language.
Yeah, they are all different. The language have different dialects in it. Like if I speak, you will know that I'm from Gokana.
Okay.
If a Kana man speak, it's different, even though you can hear it slightly.
Okay.
If a Thai person speak, it's also different. As let's say accent, apart from
accent,
yeah.
Accent.
But the dialect itself is different too.
Okay.
You know, it's different. The only one that is obviously different is the Eleme.
Okay, for example, in Yoruba language and Igbo language too, it's like that, like you say, especially Igbo. But they have one united Igbo that they teach in schools.
Yes.
No, we don't have things like that.
So which now unites all the Igbo people,
Right.
even though they have their different something. But because they have that one language that is taught in school, they now know they are all Igbos.
Yes.
But you don't have that.
No, we don't have that.
These three languages are official language in Nigeria. I don't think there's an official language in Nigeria.
No, because their own is not united. There is no way they can be official, even if there are many, because they are all different. That yes. Wow. Anybody went with Yuri again? Pastor Frederick.
Yes, sir. It's amazing. Going out with Yuri is a different platform of learning. I know my other guys, they've talked about the impact communicating with him, how he started his own journey has influenced us to think deeply. But I would like to focus on the internal. You know, you have, like you taught us in this TM, we have to look inside. So I think the number one problem why most of us that we have good intention to reach out with the kingdom message is the fact that we do not have any model to really picturize. And that becomes a problem. One thing I learned from Yuri from going out, before you even step out, make sure internally you are convinced about your mission. And you should be able to articulate that in a clear language. And once you get that,
to learn, eh?
Yes, once you get that defined and you go out, then you look onto the person you want to pass on this good news onto. What are these person's need? Don't just go and blindly start addressing some need that you assume in your mind. First of all, take interest in that person. Like genuine interest that you are convinced about. And you are not doing it because Dsa'S is there. You are not doing it because
Because at the time he was doing it, he never even met me.
Yeah.
I'm just the senior pastor. He never even met me because he was in his own state.
You are doing it because you are really called to do it and you are convinced about your calling. So whether or not you get one result, 1,000,000 results, it becomes irrelevant.
Glory to God.
And when I hear that from him, and with the humility with which he expresses it, it was amazing. The other thing that I learned from him, which I also expressed to him, he beginning to speak DSA language unknowingly. You know, I say it's like seeing you, it's like seeing DSA.
Wow.
And I have personally witnessed that with almost everyone that work with you, including our moderator here and all of them. And I think this is what Jesus Christ really taught his disciple. I mean, if we read the account of his teachings, nobody has actually matched that. And in my mind, yes, I consider you to be apostle of our time, Apostle Paul of our time. And so the question now is, now that I have learned this, what am I going to do about my internal resolution? What am I going to do to make sure that my mission statement is well understood and defined before I now step out to go and do? Many a times we go out in a hurry. And sometimes when we're operating from the soul self emotions, we think that it is the spirit led. You know, so it is time we look inwardly and beginning to draw our power from within. And once we do that, it doesn't matter whether you spend 1 year, 10 years to get one soul that is assigned to you, you know, for you to minister unto. And once we get that done, I think the rest will be history.
Well said. Well, I want to address people who are watching us right now that you should be free to get in touch with us and call if you have your own questions, or maybe they have in comments. Either in the comment section, you can write your questions in the comment, or you can call. And the way to call is to go to Facebook Messenger. When you get to Facebook Messenger, write to us and say that you want to, Facebook Messenger, look for Move Agents. And once you get to Move Agents, then you could, write that you want to call, and we will call you back. You don't need to call, we will call you back. Just go to Facebook Messenger, look for Move Agents, and and just write that you would like to call, and we will call you back. So, yep. I think only 3 of you went, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You wanted to, anybody want to say anything? Yeah.
I just wanted to.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to add something that was going through my mind in addition to the lessons we've learned from their outing with Yuri. Talking about the fact that we don't have the right model. I think one of the major reasons why that is because our concept of personal relationship with God has been destroyed by religion.
That's so true.
Because I was just thinking, when Pastor Sunday actually started out building this model, was there any model that was around that he looked at? I'm not sure there was any. Even if there was, maybe
definitely not.
Yeah, hundreds of years ago or whatever. But he was all alone, like he used to say, behind the iron curtain. But it was out of the personal relationship with God that he had that model was born.
Yes.
And one thing I've discovered also is because he has been able to teach them
very well, yeah,
personal relationship with God. Because when we talk of our inside, why we do what we do, if that connection is not there, personal relationship with God, you will always miss it. Because the wrong motivation will be there. So I've looked around, I've looked at Pastor Christina, Yuri, and all of them. You could see that the foundation is the personal relationship that they have with God, that Pastor Sunday has taught them. So everything is flowing out. Yeah, he gave them a model, but at the end of the day, you see, they do the same thing, but in different ways.
Yes.
Everything they do
In
is
their own-
love.
Yeah.
The bottom line is love, the expression of love, but they do it in their own because that was what they got. Like, what was the name of the pastor that came to teach us about?
Elena.
Pastor Elena. You discover that the first thing she said was that before she stepped out, she went into solitude. She went into solitude. She sought the face of God, and God gave her specific instructions on what to do. That shows to me
What ministry did she present to you?
the homeless.
The homeless.
Working with the homeless.
Homeless.
Getting the homeless out. Men,
So-
mainly men.
So when
Washing them, cleaning them.
yeah. So when I was actually writing down, as in because she was telling us the steps that she took and all that, after she mentioned that, I just wrote in my note that the one and only thing I need to do is to spend time with God.
Get instruction. From
Instruction. The rest is just the rest that she did was just the model that God gave to her. That necessarily might not be the my model.
But when
that
you get
God-
God,
But
you
once
get your
you
own
get,
model.
yeah, but it might the foundation will be yes the model that we see. We have like it's just like having a plan, but at the end of the day, that plan might not go exactly as you've planned it, but at least you have a skeleton to actually work with. So for me, I think the major reason why things have gone the way they have gone in Africa is because like Pastor Sunday has been teaching us all through, we've lost that connection from the source. So even when in church we talk about have a personal relationship with God, we have a completely different worldview. How we look at it, we look at it through a colored glass. We don't understand what it means. I think that's where I believe we should go back to the root to really understand what does it mean to have, because in churches today you just say okay, is maybe they call for fasting, you also fast with them, you go to church on Monday, you go to church on Wednesday, you go to church on Tuesdays, and that means you have relationship with God. But even in your prayer closet, you pray. And I keep wondering, we pray and pray and pray,
But there is
and
no
just
personal
wake up.
relationship with
Yeah,
God because it's different.
It's different.
To be praying every morning and evening and reading Bible is not personal relationship
exactly.
with God.
Prayer is not relationship with God,
Yes.
and that's what I'm coming to really understand.
Yes.
That just praying, keeping that religious clock, that you must wake up, you must do devotion. We call it morning devotion. But you're just
It is
doing
still
devotion with
religion.
yourself.
Religion. Yeah.
You're just reading the Bible, you're not getting anything. You are talking, nobody's talking back to you. You pray, you are not receiving anything. And you say you have a
No
relationship.
pictures, no conversion.
And relationship has to do with communication,
That's right.
back and forth.
That's right.
You are hearing him on a daily basis, on a minute by minute basis. He's
Relationship
hearing
has
you.
to do with trust, seeing him, relating. If you don't see, you just pray. That's emptiness.
So I believe that is where everything should flow out from, because that's the foundation. And I believe that is what HMT is all about. Even because before you catch the vision of what your purpose is in life, before you run out to go and do it, it still comes from the source.
Yes.
It must be from the source. If you are not connected to the source, all the issue about you might run and think you are pursuing your purpose, but that might not really be your purpose. That might not be what God is asking you to do. But maybe you just have it in your head, like somebody said, the soul. You just have it in your head that, this is what I need to do. But that connection is not there. So for me, I really believe that even from the conversation that they have described, that Yuri spoke with them, I can see relationship with God, with Yuri.
Very good.
Very
good.
clear. From the conversation, I can see that he has a personal relationship because it is coming from his heart.
Yeah.
So that for me is a key lesson. That before anything, that's the number one. We must build, no matter how long it takes you to build it. like in one of Pastor Sunday's teaching, you must practice the presence of God.
Yes.
It doesn't happen overnight. Even you go there, you don't hear him the first time, you don't hear him the second time. God might just be testing you and say, okay, let me see how committed you are to actually hearing from me. And after a while, when he sees that commitment, that fellowship is now building, and you now have that one-to-one. You know, like Pastor Sunday, you feel the presence of God is in you, is around you. We practice it until we get to that place whereby we now know that, yes, I'm hearing from God. And that's when you now start receiving instructions on what to do. So for me, I just believe that's the bottom line of everything.
That's it.
Wow, this is wonderful. Actually, before HMT started,
The opposite. Yeah.
Actually, before HMT started, I went out. My very second day that I came, I went out with Yuri. And looking back to where I'm coming from, both in Nigeria and the country I live in, Ireland. Like I said in one of our meetings, that I happened by the grace of God, I work with an organization in Highland that they love people so much. They love people so much. It's called the Salvation Army. They love people so much, and they care so much for people. They will go the extra mile for the homeless, for the addicted. They care so much for them. They will provide accommodation. They provide food. They will help them. They treat them like they are children. I saw how wonderful they were to people. But while I was working with them, I was taking care of the chapel. So I was there just to share the word of God. I just share the word of God, and then I do the other side. But to be honest with you, my experience with Yuri and all the places we have been and coming here, I could see a balancing. You know, I could see a balancing between the gift of the Spirit and the fruit of the Spirit. You see, in Africa, Nigeria as a Christian, there was so much emphasis on power and miracle. And you see, so our priority is not on fruit of the Spirit. Being. It's not on human being, and it's not on character building. You see, when priority is on power and what you can get, you can never have a relationship with God. We only learn how to use God. It's not possible to be in a relationship. It doesn't matter how you pray. As long as you are looking for power, as long as prayer is for power, you know, fasting is for power, solitude is for power, you cannot have relationship. So that's the difference I see between everywhere I've ever been and this place. You know, that's a clear balancing between the gift of the Spirit and the fruit of the Spirit. So when your priority is power, is miracle, you'll be a user. You can never have a relationship. And this is what I've seen everyone that is here. They have a personal relationship with God. Everybody here, they have a personal relationship. So because that's the value of Christianity to them. See, that's their priority. You see, but where we are coming, you know, the testimony of I got a good job, I got a good car, I got a good home is the focus. So even so when somebody come out to church and just said, oh, I've recovered my relationship with God. I have a relationship now. I'm now spending more time. It doesn't make any meaning to many people. They don't see that as anything, any achievement.
Okay.
No, yes, they don't see that as any achievement. If you talk about your relationship, what God is doing in your life, you know, your vision, your dreams, what God is showing you, you know, it's not a priority to most people. But when you come out and say, oh, my salary has been increased, and my car has now changed. You know, I used to live in social street, and I'm not living a better accommodation where the elite live. You know, things like that. Yes. In fact, to be honest with you, when you go to a lot of churches, people want to show their car. They want to show their houses. But here, you see, what they are demonstrating here is different. You see, this is some of the things that you can't go in that direction and have a relationship. Thank you.
Wow.
I happened to have gone out with Yuri the second day that I came here, and we walked to, I think it's Eco Market, and we did some shopping. But along the line, we talked a lot, we shared, and I learned so much from Yuri. A very humble brother, very humble. Not like maybe
carrying his shoulders up for the things that he's done. And what attracted me to him, like, is amazing all of us, is like, this guy, 30,000 people, it's like huge. But I began to ask myself, what was the secret behind Yuri's, or what strategy did God use? What motivated Yuri to do the things that he did? It's true, he had great success, and he didn't have any religion that would maybe allow him to put that success on his head, but he had a relationship with God, like Pastor Sam said. Sharing with Yuri, I understood that he just read one book. I Am a Person. Am I a Personality? That one book changed his life. One book.
And didn't just put it down.
No.
He converted
the book
into work syllabus.
Yes.
And slides.
Yes.
And it turned into a tool.
Yes.
Of making other people experience what he experienced through the book.
Yes.
Is that?
Yes. So it's like the picture I have in my mind, that what happened, how would Yuri, one person with no resources, if you want to plant a church, most of the times you want to ask maybe make a budget of how much you plan to invest. I mean, he didn't have any budget. His budget was the Holy Spirit. His budget was the treasure of heaven. He converted the treasures of heaven into ideas. And because of that one book, it gave me a picture of like a light or a lamp standing outside in the dark. And you see insects will just be flying to that lamp without any restriction.
Beautiful.
That's how people began to flock to Yuri, because he said, this thing that I found, I need to make everybody else experience it. That was his motivation, his passion, to help other people that are just in this world.
Genuine love.
Yes. They don't know where they are going. They don't know what holds for their future. That one book, he used it like a lamp. It gave him so much light. Like we've learned during our HMT about the power of light, that inundated his life, and he was able to just take that light and run with it. So the impact of what the impact of his life, of the work he did, I also saw a lot of creativity. That solitude and that relationship gave him creativity to be able to go out there and create, to be able to attract people, get people to come and listen to him. He doesn't have a PhD. He doesn't have a. He just took a book, and from interacting with that book, he had creativity.
I am a person.
Yes.
Am I a personality?
Yes. So that was the way I understood the gratitude that Yuri gave God for his life and for the thing that he did.
Real gratitude. Okay, let's see if we have some questions. Okay, we wanted to say. Okay.
Anyway, I've listened to every one of us, and with all we've learned and shared in this HMT, it's all about, all Pastor Sunday has taught us about looking inside. Because when you look inside, you understand the picture. You know, to give God gratitude is not just like many of us have known and been taught, going to church, praying and worshiping, and then we'll come back and we're doing nothing because we're not properly taught. Like when I got born again early as a young teenager, I caught a picture. I was so grateful to God. What I did, I went back telling my classmates about Christ, reaching out to my family. I remember a picture then, you know, when I got born again, then I was praying to reach out to my family as well. Because I read a place in Acts of Apostles chapter 4 verse 12 that this salvation is not only for you, but also to those that are coming ahead. Yes. I started praying. I started interceding. I found out I wasn't selfish about it. I wasn't praying for myself. I wasn't looking at my future. I didn't even know that I had a future to pray about. But the hunger was to bring people into the kingdom. I was so hungry that I don't want people to perish. I didn't even care about my life. I didn't even know when even to dress. I didn't anything. I was so ignorant about so many, but I was praying. My concern was get people into the kingdom. Jesus is coming today. Jesus is coming now, you know. Really, that vibe, I would like to say not that I've lost it, but there's so many distractions. Spending time with the Father, looking inside, understanding why you are called. We're not called for ourselves, but for people. We need to go out to reach out. It's not your PhD, your university graduate, or you have all the money. You might have nothing, but all you need is to understand that this calling is not for you alone. But there's so many people who are dying. We need to understand it. Not only getting them to be saved, they need to be discipled. That's what I understood in all this. Yuri was well discipled by reading that book. He was discipled by he understood it. That it is the passion, what Jesus did. This man died for me. You understand? He needs a change. His life has changed. He needs to impart other people's life. He needs to get people into this boat. My life has changed. I need to get people to understand this. That's the picture he saw, and he ran with it. So as we have come for HMT now, it's not when we go back and we'll go to the street and start reaching out to the people on the street, start bringing them in. But we can't do that if we don't understand. We can't. If the picture has not come to clarity, why did Jesus die? How will I say thank you to God for bringing me to the kingdom? How will I do it? How will I let people know that, man, they need not to go to hell? They need to understand there is a better life. We can't do it if we don't look inside. We don't draw strength from the source of that. If we don't draw strength from God, we can't do it. We can't do it on our own. We need to draw strength from Him and go out and reach out to others.
Beautiful. Okay. Let's go and share the message. Everybody share. This might be a very encouraging session for some people. Today is going to be our last fellowship with HMT participants because they are going back tomorrow. Some are going back tonight. And so share. Let's share this. This might be a blessing to a lot of people. I'm looking at the title, Post-Hmt Fellowship Time. Well, what about calling it our experience with... They will not know who you is, but our experience with a Dsa'S disciple. Will you need to go and fix that now?
I'll do it later.
Okay. Our experience with a Dsa'S disciple. Yeah, so HMT, post-HMT, our experience, just post-HMT, or maybe just HMT, our experience with, or post-HMT, I think post-HMT, our experience with. Yeah. Olena Tenisa, before you have to have Cladivato conversion, Imalinki, Katore on Rachit, Pastor and Rachiton. All right, so do we have some questions there? By the way, if anybody still want to call in, it's the same way. Go to Facebook Messenger, Move Agents, look for Move Agents, and just write to us that you want to call, and we will connect you. And for those of you who might want to help us with our, what do we call it, PowerPoint. If you want to help, we need people to help with PowerPoint. So if you want to help us with PowerPoints, making PowerPoint, just write in the notes there that you would like to help. This morning, we made announcement about people who want to be mentored in working with drug addicts. There were so many people who registered there. So I hope Pastor Natasha will go through the comments there. Okay. We have some questions. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah?
Okay. What?
No, Pastor wants to talk. Yes, Pastor.
Okay, Pastor wants to talk.
I don't know if you could... I know you're very good with systems.
Pakajite. Okay.
I know you're very good with setting up systems.
Oh, yeah, you might need to sit because we can't
Oh,
see.
sit. Okay.
Okay, yeah, good.
Yeah, I know you're very good in setting up systems.
Yes.
Because this place runs like
On systems.
like clockwork.
Like
So could you sort of how do you go about setting systems in a snapshot maybe? Let's say
we have them on the internet already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you go to my YouTube page, Sunday Adelaja Official, and you go to HMT, or you just write Sunday Adelaja Systems, you will see many videos on systems.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but I will still do it one time, maybe in future, maybe January.
January, okay.
Yeah, I might maybe go over that again just for people to have an idea.
Thank you.
That will take us at least 2 hours, and we only have 5 minutes left.
Oh, okay.
Only 5, yeah? Or how many more minutes? 5 more minutes.
Because we're coming live by 9.
No, are we?
Yeah, for the continuation of
How to know God through the Bible. I don't think we are doing it today, yeah? Sivona and Enda? Okay. You wanted to say something?
Yes, okay.
Because we are planning to start from Monday.
Yeah, hello everyone who looking us to
That is Yuri.
to the video. Yeah, I'm so surprised when I hear people talking about me. Really, because for me it's like a nothing. I'm also surprised when they discover these things, because it means they are thinking, they are hungry, they have questions. They really look into way of change himself, their life, his relationship with God, his ministering, his influence in society, his life in this earth, in this society, in this time. I think like this. First of all, thank you all of you. I'm shocked. Shocked. It's nothing. I'm really, because I never look at myself like this, for example. But what I want to say, I think it's nothing. In my eyes, it's nothing. In my eyes, I'm no values like this, like you. But thank you to you. And why I'm taking now a microphone? Because it's all gratitude to Pastor Sundays and his leaders. For example, I was maybe before than me was 10 leaders or pastors.
10 generation.
Or pastors, and they was like he followed him. He really gratitude to him. They learn from him. And one of them of his disciples come in my city, for example, Chernigov, 200 kilometers from here, and share this message. Start the church. They start to share his messages. So when I found like opportunity, one Mrs. old woman called me on the street and said, "Come to our church." And I asked to her, why I need to come to your church? It's maybe you from American church. And no, she said to me, then no, it's not ordinary church. Then from TV. I never go in church, honestly. but she told to me, then this is the church when you came, and your life is changed, and you can be successful. Not success in every area of your life, not money. So I decided to come. Actually, even Holy Spirit also came to me in 4 days after, in the morning, and I heard inside me the voice, "Go in the church." I was shocked. Then who speak to me? Who speak to me? So I was looking for turning back and look for sleep again. So, but I feel the voice, "Go in the church," that woman called to you. okay, so I feel that I need to go, so I'm going to look in. But it's another message. So someone shares this message. Thank you to Pastor Sunday. They listen to you and don't stop like at the heaven or the kingdom of God in their self life. They share this everywhere. Share. Like Pastor Sunday said. They don't look on themselves. They hope in God and trust in God that someone who have a good heart, who chose God Father, they came. Because you cannot come to truly God if Father don't call you.
Yeah.
So don't worry if somebody thinking then you are sickness or you are psychopath. If you calling them, yes, or follow the Dsa'S. Yeah, people can thinking about you many things, but it's not significant that they are right. Yeah. So, but someone came and his life is changed. So first of all, I take the microphone because of gratitude. I was looking for video, Pastor Sunday. In our church, we have TV. So our leaders, pastors, show to us the TV. They want, because maybe some of them not maybe not like, don't have so many gifts to paint the picture. So and they know this, speak but not clearly, yeah? They try and they do it best. So what they invite, creative thinking. They put the TV and show Pastor Sunday messages. We're praying, we worship to God, singing, yeah? And they messages like this.
On that in home groups or what?
Yeah, in church.
In church?
Yeah, it's our church group.
Wow.
Yeah, so I look at to him when he's like a preaching with microphone, yeah. So and how he walk on на сцене.
Yeah, on stage.
On stage, how he express this message, how he thinking, how he challenge you with the questions, how could these all things challenge me. Oh, is it real, man? Is it what he talking about? I never heard that someone talk about these different things in different area in life, and you discover, if you're honest person, you discover that this is true. This model of thinking about what he's speaking, it's more effective than mine. So I prefer to put in the musarku.
Yeah, throw away.
Throw away my thinking, and I want to set his thinking because it's more effective. Yeah. Well, no, so thank you to his teaching, I discovered then I'm not who I'm thinking homeless, people without money, who lost the destiny in this life, who burn for mistakes. Thank you to his, because he chose the message of God, then God values to you. He really loves to you. It doesn't matter what situation you have. It doesn't matter.
Your pastor used to show me in class?
Yes, so I see video. It's very important.
How many times?
It's like before I am started, I was like I came to church -10, not at 0.
How many times did the pastor show?
Every time.
Every Sunday?
Every Sunday, yes. In the
he didn't preach?
Sometimes it was Pastor Angela.
She was not preaching?
Sometimes, but she preferred to show.
I didn't even know that.
Yes, because she's smart. She understands how I can to supervise Pastor Sunday. So why I need this? It's not my church, because Pastor Sunday teaches. It's God's church. So why I need to приклеивать или как?
Yeah, to sing self-glory.
Yeah, the people at me.
Self-glory.
Yeah, I received this glory to be pastors from him. He's blessing me. Yes, God blessing me. I feel this calling. So why they need to understand the messages, different messages. These messages can change your life. Believe me, I'm a live testimony. And they speak, I don't pay them.
Yeah, because
I'm telling you, I don't pay them.
because here in this country, some people they think that these things are too fantastic. It's not possible. Sometimes they say, pastors, how do you just pay people to say it? It's not possible. Yeah. So he says, he didn't pay you.
Yeah. So really, to see Pastor Sunday, you can't be humble. You always want to how he understands God, what he thinking about God, how he knows God. Then he care about you. Nobody stop before my life to help me, to support me, to give me honestly the hands. And you know, the maximum that I can do, I do for you. And I prove you. I wrote this book for you. I spend my time, I'm searching, I'm praying. God, help me to clearly put this message, not just for selling, for make money, but the topics could really change the life. I want the truth put this, so the people can
I don't make money from the book.
Can see this real picture. Why this book changed my life? Because I see true. One reason is a book, but then I see real men, example,
real life,
who live like this.
That's model. Yeah.
And he like как мед,
like honey.
He like honey. You want to listen to him. You want to change your life. He's a challenge for me every day. They speak a lot about me, but I think it's nothing, because I want to be like Pastor Sunday. So I'm just to start to study. I'm just to start to understand something in this life. He give me express one thing. Then you don't know who you are. Wherever you think, wherever your problem you have, it's not your life. It's not you.
Yes.
You maybe it's 1% of you. So you have 99 potential behind you. So 99 potential. It's criminal to go to the heaven full like this. Don't express yourself. Don't realize your potential.
Yeah.
It's criminal, because it's his messages. You discover then what you are doing there. God asks you, how many things I give to you? Creativity, creative thinking, about thinking. Who teaching about thinking? Because if someone teaching about thinking, no, they don't teach it to you, because they scared, then you steal their money. You became so smart, so you can build your empire. So what is this? What is this 300 people or 1,000 people influence? What is this? It's a system. Pastors, the most beautiful message. Then I'm alive. I'm a happy person. Yes. I love God.
Yes.
I walk with Him like I know, like I'm studied to walk with God every day.
Yes.
Yeah, I have life inside me.
Yes.
Not outside. This is the beautiful message. Not 30,000 people influence. Really. I even don't care. It was a second part, then it just
secondary,
just came out from me.
Results. Yeah.
Just result about relationship with God, when you try to find Him, to understand Him, to be honestly with yourself, why you live, how I live, where I'm do mistake, where I'm sin, produce sin, how to be strong to not produce a sin again.
Yes.
How to be more good person for this. Yes. How to help him. How not people, think it just about himself. How to think about him also.
The quality inside is superior to the result that we are always detracted about.
How not die empty. Go to heaven empty, without nothing, without help someone. How understand more deeper the message that Jesus set me free. Because I'm smoking for 12 years. It was a very big problem for me.
And you almost went to prison, yeah? Or you went to prison?
Yeah.
For 1 year?
Or 1.5.
He was in prison. You didn't know that, right? Yeah, he was in prison for 1.5 years.
Yes. Why? Because of my mental mentality.
This was after prison, after everything, you know.
So, Pastor, it's thank you to him, because Pastor Sunday look to change himself every day, to be example for us. What is mean relationship with God? Because our mentality was, even if Orthodox Church, it's a dominate here in Ukraine, and with the Orthodox influence also be with me. Even then, I didn't heard nothing from God, but I have picture in myself, first of all. Then this is a злой дядька, как бы.
That God is a God?
Да.
That God is a angry old man.
Angry old man who want to kill you every day. who just analyze every your day where you sin, where you make the sin, so then he give to you проклятие, как curse. He hate you, to explain to you. So that's a picture I received from Orthodox Church. So be careful. So you even God like this, I don't want to. I even look in part of church, nothing. No, but the example of Pastor Sunday and his disciples also, because they receive this message from God. It's not only the strategical how to take a people, like I'm saying. We became like a big corporation. Take a people, and collect money from them. Yes? This is life?
No.
You go in depression, even if you do church like this, you go in your room and you put narcotic in yourself. You became drug addicted, yes, because the power of you receive without heart and without blessing of the heaven destroy you. I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you empty, not carry of God, so you don't have passion to serve them. So I know many persons who tell me I received successful. I know even one guy who very rich now in Russia. He is a Jew, but they drugs, they buy prostitute every day. They looking for
fulfillment from outside.
Yeah.
Not from
Napolitsa.
Yeah, they want to feel themselves.
Yes.
But from outside.
Carry from outside. They look at some, but it's need to be.
It's empty inside.
It need to be something powerful, like who feel sex and feel drugs. It's a very higher emotion. So but God, the highest emotion, the highest powerful,
energy.
Like clearly energy, the most beautiful and pure energy. Yeah. God like this, I never heard. I never see. I never receive. I'm just a beginner. So thank you to Pastor Sunday. Thank you. Then he loves God so much, and he follow his words, like leave everything and live for him and for me. So I could also carry this message in my heart, speak with him in my secret room in my heart. 15 minutes in the bus when I go somewhere, I am with him. So I have this energy to make good for someone, even without money. It doesn't matter he pay me or don't pay me. Yeah. For like Pastor Sunday, he ready to ask your question 24 hours without ask you $1. Different questions. He looking for questions. The more interesting, deeper and lively, who really help your life. Ask him questions then you really need in your life today. Not about future there, your life. This is my secret also. I want to change the world, but first of all, what about my life? Yeah, I have seen there. I'm mistaken there. My area with relationship with my husband, with my sister. I don't know, with my neighbor, it's not right. I don't satisfied with my job. I don't feel passionate, light with myself. I'm forgetting about God whole my week. Only in Sunday I remember that I have to go. So this is the questions. Then you exchange little things, but the most important things can change your life. Ask him about the equation. So you became full of these things, and you can help to another people.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pastor Sunday. Thank you for your serving. Thank you for your every day, every life of your life. Thank you for examples, because thank you for your hope in God, and you try and copy at Him.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And you also testimony from me, then yeah, really. Then I listen to you, 20 people from different countries, and you speak about we have problem there, we have problem there, we don't know how to do it. 50 years have this pastor, and he asked me, and I have an answer for him. I'm shocked. He pastor where in America, the like a вершина айсберга как будет? Вершина айсберга как?
The height of the iceberg.
The height of the iceberg, America, height of the iceberg of successful, of life, of anything. And he came here and he listened to me and he shocked and he received some powerful, lively message and his life changed. From me, homeless, nobody, nowhere. Like this, sorry, I'm shocked. If this is not heaven, if this is not kingdom, I don't know what is it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Because you see, he himself is shocked at the fact that you have been blessed by what he's doing. Yeah. Because he's just trying to live for God and trying to discover God and learn. And he's impressed that, oh, so this thing is blessing you people. You wanted something? No. Okay. I wanted to ask you, because you came, Emmanuel, you came here from the UK.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you decided to come here you've been here for 3 months now.
3 months.
For 3 months to come and stay. What has that done for you? What are the transformation that has taken place in your life since? What have you been able to do? What has this time done for you?
It's
because some people might want to emulate that example.
Yeah. For me right now, the stage I am right now is more personal. Because one thing I've been able to realize is to create change, or rather to say to impact people's lives, you have to make a lot of change on yourself and to have a solid foundation. So my being in Ukraine is all about.
And let me help you out a little bit, because what he has been doing, every week he has meetings with one of our ministers or different of our ministers, and they just do mentorship together, personal mentorship. So he's learning directly the way I taught by people one time. They, not me, just like Yuri, but another person, teaching him directly to have personal relationship with God and principles of success and victory in life. So he's having personal mentorship with one of the, and then you're reading books.
Yeah, the program.
And you've been able to do your first solitude, right?
Yeah, it was awesome.
He's been able to do his first solitude while he's been here. So that's what I'm saying. He's building his life from the scratch. He's creating himself from the inside all over again. Even though you've been a Christian for like 10 years, 20 years.
Right from childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
you even finished Bible school with winners?
Yeah, I did the whole 3 stages. LCC, BCC,
but it
LCC,
is now
LDC,
that he's just building the foundation.
Yeah. So with the program, the rehab program, because I myself suffered from addiction anyway. And
one thing I've been able to understand about purpose is God will always use you in that area that you yourself you've struggled with. Because we keep on saying, Pastor Natalia, alcoholic. God used that on a massive scale based on our own experience. So when it comes with passion, I think there's going to be a connection with one's previous lifestyle. And then when it's going to be a conversion, God will now use it. So for me, it's my calling. It connects with the whole lifestyle I've lived over the years, and I really appreciate God for that anyway. Because to understand people's pain, I think sometimes you have to walk in that pain, and like I have a strong passion. I shared it with you anyway. I have a strong passion for prisoners. And it's all because I myself was once an inmate. So, and God has been able to open my eyes to see that they are living in their own world. That's another world. We are here in the free world, and they have their own world that they're living, and someone has to reach out to them. But if we don't have people that will be passionate about these people, it's almost like we have pastors that probably most of them don't even know that there's a word called prison. But
Jesus said, I was in prison.
Yeah.
He said he is the one who was there.
Yeah. And Christ laid down the whole example about he was afflicted. He could understand how the weakness of man. He could understand the pain. He could understand affliction because he himself was bruised, was wounded. So the whole experience coming here is a whole package that I myself just have to go back home and continue to build on myself, to work more on myself. Because from what I've learned from Dr. Sunday is sacrifice is the sacrifice that you can lay upon your own self to deny your own selves of certain things.
Before you can be a blessing to...
Before you can be a blessing. That's what I've been able to learn from you. So if you cannot create your own prison world, which is sacrifice, if within your own comfort zone, if you cannot deny yourself of certain pleasures, because that's sacrifice. So I don't know what you're going to sacrifice to help people out there. If you cannot actually put pressure on yourself and get rid of certain things by creating. I like the way you said create your own prison. And that's the system I'm going to create for myself, because I really want to get to a stage whereby I've learned a lot from you. And that's one of the major things that attracted me to you, because having heart for people, it touches me a lot, and that's the area that you've been able to really, you've the whole sacrifice that you've done is you building yourself, equipping yourself just to serve people, just to reach out to people. And I don't want to deceive myself, like thinking like, okay, you're going to change the world, you're going to do this, you're going to impact things, you're going to impact your society and all that, and not realizing that there's a lot of value that you need to add to yourself. Because what I've been able to learn from you, that over the years, you've added a lot of value to yourself. You've denied yourself of a lot of pleasures. In fact, the comfort, you understand what it means because people don't understand that it's really deep when Christ said, deny yourself. That alone is of depth. And to carry your cross, like you said, reading the Bible and making people understand when you open that Bible is on a different level. But I would just say my experience here so far, like I said, is personal. And
yeah, because so many people might be watching us who want to get their lives on track as well, personal life, who want to build themselves. Can you tell us how your week or your day goes in this place? What are the structures that are helping you? I mean, for you to be able to, you've been a Christian for over 20 years, and but to have been able to sit down, to really, work on yourself the way you've been.
Yeah, the structure here is more of self-discipline. And like I'm someone I've not really been a disciplined person. And it's what I find here in this atmosphere is a different atmosphere that will help you to see what it actually means. Self-development I actually can see self-development on a different perspective. It's not the way I've been seeing self-development from when you want to know about self-development from YouTube. But self-development starts from what you've been able to enlighten us on solitude. I think that's the beginning of self-development.
How long were you on solitude for?
I was on solitude for over 2 weeks. And
just alone with God.
Just alone. But the atmosphere is really helpful as well.
In the house here?
Yeah, in the house. There's no distraction. So I think in some cases, or in most
and for the first time you had God speak to you.
Yeah.
Supernaturally.
He did.
He came to you. You see, when we seek the face of God, God is not dead, guys.
Yeah.
And just the way, and what he experienced, the way God came to show up and spoke to him, that's exactly the same way God appears to me when I am in solitude. God is not dead. It doesn't matter who is a Yuri, Emmanuel, anybody that will pay the price to seek his face finds him. But then, so that it will no longer be the God of Pastor Sunday to you, or the God of Orarobos to you. Once you encounter him like that one time, it becomes your God.
You said something to us that you wanted sincerity, a sincere relationship with God.
Yes.
That was your hunger, your thirst. And God sees the heart. So I think the beginning of a relationship is when we really want to be sincere, to know him in spirit and in truth. So in everything that we want to do, like you've been able to teach us, is the question why, the motive behind it. You want to go for solitude. What's the motive behind going for solitude? You want to have a relationship with him. Why do you want to have a relationship? Why do you want to know your Heavenly Father? Why do you want to develop a personal relationship with him? So what you've been able to put in my head is everything you're doing. Question why. When you're able to answer why, then you'll be able to analyze the motive behind everything you're doing. So I've been able to understand that in most cases, because our motives, if it's not right, then it's not going to be based on, because what you said is, it's not about seeing things from your side, see it from God's perspective. So that's another thing I've been able to learn. You start seeing things from God, because he said your ways is different from my ways, and your thoughts is different from my thoughts. So I want to be seeing it from his way. I want to be seeing it from his thought. What's his thoughts? So if he said that there's a way that seems right before us, but before him, the end thereof is destruction. So we need to start seeing things from how is God seeing it. why am I doing this? So, but there's too much I've been able to. That's why I really, from my heart, I appreciate God having a mentor like you. And I said to some people, I said, look at this atmosphere. It's been a blessing to people. This man could have built some big mansion with some big swimming pool, but we're all benefiting from this atmosphere, you know, because we're coming from different areas, coming to this place, and he, thinking from God's perspective, he built a place like this. So when we're in pursuit of wealth, financial
well-being,
we should understand that, does it really carries God's purpose?
Or just for me?
Because Dr. Sunday's wealth carried God's purpose, and that's why there's arrangement for transportation for people to move from one place to another place. He doesn't have some big personal car of his own. You know, everyone we're going to church, people can come sit in his car. You know, he has this place for people to. So I've been able to understand that wealth that would not benefit people doesn't carry God's purpose. So when we're thinking about financial wealth, we should have it at the back of our mind that, listen, it has to carry God's purpose.
Even the anointing, even anything we want to have, we desire to have, what is the motive? Is it just for me to build a big ministry for myself? I want to have a big church so that people will say I'm cool. Or is it about people? Is it about God's purpose?
And I've learned humility as well from you as well. Like, not because people want to be praised by men. And that's why when Christ said that they like to sit in the high places so that they can get the praises of men. But you are someone that, because you're doing it for Christ, you're not seeking the praise of men. And because you're doing it for the sake of Christ, it's even made you to be humble. So there's this ego. It's very easy to get carried away by achievement if one is not really being conscious and sensitive that, am I doing it for myself or I'm doing it for Christ? So I've been able to understand within my heart that when you're doing things for Christ, it's much more easier to do it and
turn back.
And turn back. Like when it was said earlier on about you give clothes. No one has to see you giving clothes to the homeless. The homeless don't need to see you. But if people wants to be noticed, then the intentions in the sight of God becomes shady. So for me, I'll keep on saying it. My calling is personal. I have the strong passion to reach out to prisoners. I have a strong passion to reach out to the addicts. I have the strong passion to reach out to the street guys. And this is based on my own background. This is where I'm coming from, because all you guys here have a different background from me. You guys are master degree holders, been to those 4 walls. You know, I've never been part of that, and I've never been enslaved. That's one thing again. I've never been enslaved with
Uncle Sam.
With Uncle Sam. So that as well is
every one of us had their own slave. Slavery.
like when we had we had our program yesterday with Pastor Clement, and for the first time I was able to differentiate the when you're wasting time, the 3 categories of time: wasting time, spending time, investing time. And he said something. He said you have to be in control of time. I was like, wow. someone like me that have been to 20 countries, it was now coming to me that, okay, I was able to visit those 20 countries because I was in control of my time. So I could now see that how precious, like
not to be enslaved by Uncle Sam.
Not to be enslaved by Uncle Sam.
When you are enslaved by Uncle Sam, you are not in control.
You're not in control of your time. So now
you don't belong to yourself.
Now, like in your book, that no one is better than you. When I read that book, it made me even start asking God for forgiveness of how I've been spending my time. And now how to value my time.
No one is better than you.
No one is better than
They
you.
only converted their time better.
So when you have time, you're wealthy.
And you are the owner of your life and of life.
Of life. Because if you don't have time to yourself, how would you be able to go and change lives anyway?
You'll be too busy.
You'll be too busy. Because people are saying that, yeah, they're going to go do this, do that. That's if you have time.
That's so true.
Because all this talk is cheap to me anyway. Because if you're saying, if you don't, and now on the value, the whole value of this time. If you're tied with family burdens, job burdens, you're not really going to have time. You won't even have time for solitude anyway. Woo. Yeah. Because it's time to go. It's time. Everything is time. The place of solitude is time. The place to disconnect from world, from this, from that is time. So I really appreciate the whole atmosphere here. It's like, wow, thank God that there's an atmosphere. I can't even think of any atmosphere like this in this world. I don't know if anybody knows of an atmosphere like this that you can just go to. Like Pastor Sam was saying, when he goes to seminars, he has to lodge hotels. The seminar location is different from the hotel location, with the whole stress, but everything is just in one building. There's provision of food, everything. You don't have to start struggling. Oh, what do I have to get for? There's a lot that I've learned from this place. That's why I said that God is using my mentor to prepare me for my own mission.
Yeah, but I see you every day and I see the hard work you are putting into it. I see how you are reading the books, but you are not just reading books like reading books. I see that you are writing everything from it. You are analyzing every page. You are making notes, very detailed.
I like studying. I've been able to differentiate when you're reading and studying.
Okay.
I like pondering.
Yes.
I like to assimilate to information because I don't joke with words. I don't joke with words, so I value words. So if you're studying, if studying is you valuing words, that's studying. Pondering on when you're pondering on words, it shows how much you value words. And when you value words, you find out that you're going to be a man of integrity anyway, because I've been able to understand that one thing about Dr. Sunday is always you see his books. His books is something that comes from when you read his books. Is you can see that the value in the content of those books is of substance
coming from
coming from the inside. Not just someone that just wants to produce a book. There's life in it. So this is someone that lives by words. Now I can understand when in the beginning was the word. So he lives by this word that was in the beginning. And that's why he's able to come up with substance. So I really want to appreciate you, and we can see it from his disciple here. You
know me very well.
Yeah, they are friends. Yeah.
I was amazed. Like I could see how Mayowa, Dr. Anu, how much they've been so much disciplined, and I'm still working. I'm still working on myself. You know, because if you've lived your life like you've lived 30 years of your life.
But that's why you needed that time of intense preparation.
Yeah.
You know, pondering on
Yeah.
what, learning, studying. The
Yeah.
way you are doing the right thing by, you know, pouring those words and those books into yourself. I'm sure you have read so many books. And then the program, the rehabilitation program, you are doing as if you are giving exams. Are you giving exams there or what? Because the way you are writing, the way you are studying that thing is almost making me to think you are giving exams every week or something.
Yeah, because I want to be a writer myself. So it's part of what I want to do. I want to be a writer. And I love, you notice I love writing as well. Yeah.
Sitting down, really
Yeah.
working hard.
Yeah, but guys, the only thing I want to say is if we really want to change things out there, we need to start changing inside. That's one thing you've given to us. We really need to start changing from the inside.
So that we live from inside.
So that we live from the inside out. Yeah.
Thank you.
Strong. Powerful. Okay, I guess this will be the end of our fellowship time today. We will not do, we will start the Bible, the How to Know God through the Bible tomorrow. We will start from tomorrow because this is just the conclusion of the HMT. And yeah, and it's been awesome. Thank you so much, every one of you guys. Yeah, it's been awesome. It's been awesome. Well, thank you so much, every one of you at home as well. You know, yeah. Tomorrow we'll be starting our normal regime, which is 7 o'clock Ukraine time. We're having the interviews, and in the evening we're having the teachings. And yeah, it's been nice. This is 1 week here with the HMT has been awesome. I think something has been released from heaven, from the spirit realm. Yeah. So thank you so much, everyone. Peace.